Boon the game up. There it goes. And there I be. At least try not to suck on this cough drop that much, but in the previous session we made it through an entire day. We're in our what feels like the tail end of our investigation. So hold on. Might as well at least break the rest of the coffee shop. But anyway, we finished our first full day of trial, and the rest of that was just us investigating. I have suspicions about what's been happening. We have another DL6 type incident that happened. The not DL6, but not that. It'll be relevant for case, the upcoming case. The we not had that letter. SL9. We have SL9 that's happening. Something that happened 2 years ago. That some of the evidence got transferred here to this evidence room, and we were about to do forensic stuff. We got a fingerprint set, and we were going to use that for investigating this hidden fingerprint we found. So I can examine. What's this? This is where we got a luminal fluid reaction, right? And of course, voice acting as always, like the rest of the previous sessions for Ace Attorney. Right, there was a handprint here. Okay, wanna try using this? There goes our eyes sparkling again. Okay, let's check for prints. That's the spirit. Oh, but I have to warn you about something first. What? The area with the blow was wiped away, right? We only ended up finding it using chemical means. Any prints in that area would have been wiped away too. Oh, right. So that means no prints. Would you say the probability your hypothesis is high? Don't ask me. Anyway, let's try to find prints that weren't wiped away. Prints other than the ones left by the bloody hand. I'm still gonna assume that would probably be the... No? Sorry, I was a bit confused for a sec. It's like, B doesn't work, A doesn't work, but B does, but... I'm looking at the wrong print, I think. Oh. Okay. I was thinking maybe the print that wasn't wiped up, but alright. Apply that loss of dust. And blow. A little bit more. I gotta admit, I do like this though. It's a nice change of pace from like how we investigated the previous cases. Some more. I think it's pretty cool. Like turning evidence around and all that. I think it's a pretty nice touch. There we go. I would say that's definitely his prints. Something suspicious. Isn't this was Gumshoe's locker, I think. No. But regardless. Hey, these fingerprints say, who are they? Whose? Is this someone I know? It's Officer Marshall. Huh? Officer Jake Marshall? Suspicious. Gotta be a coincidence. He's not involved in the crime. Emma. This is slightly different from Detective Gumshoe's prints. Yeah. Luminal reaction. The blood and the fingerprints are in the same place. Oh. Oh. So we have Jake Marshall's fingerprints on a white blood stain. Why would Officer Marshall? Like investigations find turning up some results. Eh? I guess this is what you call decisive evidence. I don't believe it. Well, again, far for the course considering that we always end up at the tail end when I wish I had more time, but oh well, it happens. To be continued a couple seconds. February 24th, 9:41 a.m. District Court, defendant lobby number 2. So, what do you think, Mr. Wright? If the prosecution is as confused as we are. After all, the victim was murdered in 2 different places at the same time. And a different suspect was arrested at each of the crime scenes. Lena. Good morning, Mr. Wright. I apologize for yesterday. I was indisposed. I hope I didn't hold you too long for questioning. We just finished, actually. I'm used to all-nighters, though. So, how'd it go? As Mr. Wright suspects, the police are clueless. I figured as much, so I struck a plea bargain. The plea bargain? What do you mean by that? Are you agreed if I told them the truth behind this simultaneous murder? They wouldn't see capital punishment. That's what I mean, Emma. Elena, don't tell me you... Much to my regret, I'm as much in the dark about this as they are. This guy. Found trace evidence of a certain person in the police department's evidence room. They belong to Officer Jake Marshall. What kind of trace evidence? Bloodstained fingerprints to be exact. Eh? That's the trump card I have up my sleeve today. You do understand what this means, don't you? In order to defend my sister, you're going to accuse Mr. Marshall? We have to play the cards where it's out. Is that right, Miss Guy? Do what you had to do, Mr. Wright. Alright, and to recap, somehow our victim was killed or the killee in 2 different places. It still doesn't add up, but it's a pretty cool twist. I will admit, pretty interesting. Court is now session for the trial of Miss Lena Skye. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Prosecution is... I'm afraid you have to clarify. It takes 30 minutes by car to reach the police department's... Let me try it again. It takes 30 minutes by car to reach a police department from the prosecutor's office. Get the victim with Bruce Goodman was slain at both places at the same time. That's not physically possible, is it? What's more, I hear the victim from the evidence room just disappeared. Yes, and the body eventually reappeared in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car. Wow, this is one messed up trial. One of my duties as prosecutor is to present impartial evidence. Today, I'll present evidence relating to the murder at the police department. In so doing, I believe the way in which you should proceed will reveal itself. That's what set Mr. Ashford apart. He sounds so on top of things, even though he doesn't know what's going on himself. That's supposed to be an admirable trait. Very well, let the trial resume. Also, hold on. On the day of the crime, what transpired at the police department? Mr. Edgeworth, you may call your first witness of the day to the stand. For its first witness, the prosecution calls the suspect of the murder that occurred at the police department. The suspect? You mean the so-called murderer? Oh boy. Things are getting wild from the get-go. Of course. Would a witness please state his name and occupation? Yes, sir. I am Officer Mike Meekin, sir. Our application is ow. That would be murderer, sir. So you're telling us you're a professional killer? Sir, it was me, sir. I'm the one who did it, sir. I never kill anyone, sir. You gotta believe me, sir. Actually, we'd like to hear from you, sir. I'm what you call part of the younger generation, sir. A person whose actions adults can possibly comprehend. Please message for sir. Help me, sir. Officer Meekins. Yes, sir. Give us your report of the crime. Consider that an order. Yes, sir. As you wish, sir. After all, I am part of a generation that must be told what to do, sir. Can't fall for a lack of enthusiasm. Crime report, sir. Although it's not my normal duty, I was assigned to guard the evidence from that day. I spotted a suspicious man in the security room and rushed into this room. I was only doing what I was trained to do, sir. I was suddenly attacked. Fought for my life, and then I did it. After that, I passed out until another officer smacked me awake. So the victim attempted Goodman attacked you? Do unto the others before they do unto you. That's the Meekin family model, sir. I see. Then you faded and a colleague helped you regain consciousness? Yes, sir. He knocked me upside the head, sir. Very well. The proper defense may begin its I cannot word today for the life of me. The defense may begin its cross-examination. Maybe there is more info to work with. Well, I feel bad for Meekin, but when in doubt, press. Mr. Meekins, you work in the General Affairs Department, do you not? Yes, sir. I am in charge of hiring new recruits, sir. The scary dot. Evidence transfer was taking place on the day of the crime, which means many officers were given special tasks not already performed. I was in charge of guarding the Blue Badger, sir. The Blue Badger? Yes, sir. The lovely police mascot created by the chief of detectives, sir. Oh yeah, that thing, right. I wasn't sure it wasn't broken during the transfer process. That was my sole mission for the day, sir. I see. Sounds like a very, important mission. After the award ceremony finished that day, there were so many people running around that relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room. Oh, so that's why you went to the evidence room. Tell us, what did you see when you got there? In order to enter the evidence room, you need an ID card, am I correct? Precisely, sir. I had one right here around my neck. So then, your ID number should be listed on here, right? There it is. I found it. This is the one right here. Could you please read us that number? Yes, ow, sir. It's 489. I'm gonna just jot this down because I'm probably gonna forget the number. Don't mind me. 4989596. That's my number, sir. Let's see. Yeah. The number 4989596 is shown as being used twice. Please explain, witness. It's no real mystery, sir. The first time is when I relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room. And the second time is when I went to get him after everything settled down. I see. So it was during that second time when... Yes, sir. That was when I spawned the man on the security stream. Wait. Hold on, let me try to check this out real quick. No, it adds up because 514 is also in... Wait. I'm assuming it's in sequential order. I mean, a chronological order, but... Shouldn't that be the other way around where Meekins goes in and Bruce? Okay, I just have a contradiction in fact, if that's the case. I don't think I need further evidence. I think I have what I need. No, I guess I don't just yet. Let me just continue pressing then. I was thinking I was being clever. No. So you were attacked? Can you please tell us exactly what happened to you? It was a knife, sir. A knife. That a Goodman pulled a knife on you? What happened then? Well, with me charging out like that, he looked as surprised as I was. Sorry, I got distracted for a sec. Didn't mind me. Keep forgetting to update it when that's what distracted me. Well, with me charging in on him like that, he looked as surprised as I was. And it's actually the kind of person someone would want to run into. That's when I reacted, sir. So I went around like an octopus struggling to detain him. And so I got this gash in my hand. Maybe if you just kept your cool, your hand wouldn't be. I saw the blood trickling down my arm. I panicked. I grabbed the man by his collar. What exactly do you mean when he said you did it? I don't know. I know I don't look like type, but I'm really into kung fu films, sir. The man let his guard down for just an instant, so I snatched his knife from him. You took his knife? I spun him around and performed a disarm maneuver. I made sure to close my eyes like a man. See. Man, he must have been desperate. Next thing I knew, his white coat was drenched in a sea of my blood, and then, next thing I knew, yes, punched me right in my face, sir. About what time did he regain consciousness? No offense, sir, but how am I supposed to know that I wasn't conscious? Oh, right. According to the report from the officer that woke up that witness, it was about 5:30. Hit me right in the head too. Woke up crying tears of pain. It's nice. I mean, it's nice that he recovered, that is. When I came around, now I made sure to finish my mission, sir. Your mission? Yes, sir. The Blue Badger, sir. I returned to the entrance before things got out of hand. Well, we can all rest easy now. I believe we now have a very accurate picture of what happened. Yes, Your Honor. Only one thing remains unclear. What? Was the man that officer murdered really the victim? Got a point. Yes, Officer Meekins. With regards to that, sir. Take a look at this. It was sent to my jail cell. Chief Guy delivered to me just this morning, sir. The chief? Delivered it? What is that? Videotape? Yes, ow, sir. It's absolutely right, sir. A videotape, sir. Contains footage from the security camera in the evidence room. Nani? But I specifically asked if there was such a tape. And was told if it had been mistakenly erased. It's quite a mistake. I just do what I can, sir. It's the only thing I'm really good at. The communication with the police tomorrow is as good as ever. Well then, let's have a look. Show us a video of you murdering the victim. Oh, stop using that word murder, sir. It scares me. Video of a real murder? Just, what are we getting ourselves into? I will admit, it's hard to take it seriously when that thing is moving back and forth. Yeah. Well, I believe we're all thinking the same thing. How can we deal with these unsettled feelings served within us? How was that wiggling piece of plywood? Sir, that is the pride and joy of the entire Criminal Affairs Department, sir. Blue Badger, sir. Am I surprised this isn't going smoothly? Yes, well, anyway. Same seems to prove that the witness did indeed encounter, someone. In the evidence room in some sort of, activity. Your Honor. Instead of relying on clarity incomplete footage, the witness's testimony will suffice. Is that alright with you, Officer Meekins? Yes, sir. As you wish, sir. Mystery man. His face can't be clearly seen in the video. There's no question that the other person was Detective Goodman, sir. I mean, he opened the locker, which required Detective Goodman's fingerprint to do so. The locker, he opened his unquestioned Detective Goodman's locker, sir. So it must have been him. No one else could have unlocked it. What's this about a fingerprint? Each detective has been given a locker equipped with a fingerprint activated lock. These locks ensure that each locker can only be opened by the detective it belongs to. Intriguing. That would mean the victim at the crime scene would have to have been Detective Goodman. Very well. The defense will begin its cross-examination. I don't know where this cross-examination will lead. If everything begins with contradictions, that's where I have to start. Maybe I'll look at the video. Just want to take one last look at it. If only it wasn't a monochrome bit. Something seems off. Oh, whatever. I can't. I was thinking maybe I can see his face, Goodman's face. No. All right, when done, press. Tell me, were you able to get a good look at him? At the face of the man who attacked you with a knife? Sir, if you must label people as having seen or not seen the man's face, I believe it'd be classified as the latter. Matter, but you're standing right in front of him, were you not? Or to the point, you're the person who fought him, aren't you? Oh, yes, sir, but I didn't get a clear look at his face, sir. I'm not the kind of guy who looks directly at people when talking with them, you see. And that's a good trait for a police officer. So, I sure it was him. I'll put my badge on it. But you don't know that for sure, do you? You never actually saw Detective Goodman's face. Well, I suppose you might say that. And as if he must label people as having seen or not seen it. Since his face can't be identified in the video, only you can verify it. Eh? Is everyone looking at me? If I had to label your stares as disturbing or... Meekins. Having been shown a questionable video of this, we are not in the best of moods. Now, please be more certain when you testify. Yes, sir. Blame the man who brandished a knife and he was Bruce Goodman. Tell us why you're positive it was him. About these lockers, is there no other way to open them? No, sir. I tried all kinds of methods in the past. They only respond to registered fingerprints, sir. What kind of methods you tried? If the man opened the locker's lock, which only responds to his registered fingerprints, then he must be the person the locker was assigned to. Exactly my point, sir, and this too. So, how do you know that information? I've heard rumors, sir, from people in the know, sir. People in the know? The records in the apartment cafeteria, sir. They keep me informed. Yeah, so this is to my grammatic troubles, sir. For the record, the open locker did indeed belong to Detective Goodman. I verified this information through a more reliable source. So the victim opened the locker with his own fingerprint. However, the most important detail is not shown in this video, the man's face. Sir? If I may say something, sir. Please do. After all, you're the one being examined. I don't understand why the man's face is so important to this case, sir. I mean, it was his hand that opened the fingerprint lock. And it was his hand that tried to thrust his knife into my body, sir. Cell State can testify enough to this, sir. Yes, you have a point. The footage isn't a lie. That is... Unless the defense can find a problem with it. So right, let's check the court record again. I'm assuming there's always is something wrong with the picture. I don't really... I do see a problem with the video though. Regarding the video contained on this tape, there is one thing in particular that seems rather strange. Strange? This contradiction leads to the possibility that the man may not have been Detective Goodman. What? I mean, Nani? This video contains such a contradiction? Interesting. Your Honor, I have a proposal. Yes, Mr. Edgeworth. I propose we have the defense point out to us his alleged contradiction in the video. He wants me to point it out. Very well, proposal accepted. Let us further inspect this piece of evidence. I will now play the security tape. Mr. Wright, show us this contradiction you speak of. Right, at the point of the problem in the video. It's the first time I've ever had to do that. You can do it, Mr. Wright. Set up so you can fast forward or rewind or pause the video. Just take a good look and be sure to point out the right thing. I just don't play it too many times. I can't stand watching this video. How would this guy ever become a police officer? Now then, Mr. Knight, please enlighten us. Where in the contradiction that indicates a man may not be Detective Goodman? Take that. The thing that's strange about this video would have to be this. Hold on a second. I need these fire drops. Well, I don't get it. I'm gonna get penalized for this, aren't I? Oh, okay. There's a one pointing his finger at us. Alright, let's try this again. I was thinking maybe like when he did the thing, but wait, let me back up real quick. Hold up. X rewind. Maybe the part where like his face was hidden when they were scuffling. I keep forgetting there's a pause button. Like, I'm trying to figure out where exactly he would have that idea. There we go. Take that. The thing that's strange about this video... Oh, yeah. A bit for him, okay. We're gonna concentrate into Tate's. Yes. No. Maybe go back to the cross examination first. His face can't clearly be seen in the video. Alright, the glove is what fell. The question that the other person was dead could have been. I have an idea. The game's probably gonna say, no, you are completely wrong, GG. 8-point deficit. No. I feel like the glove will come into play, but maybe not at this moment in time. Nope, that's not it. Right, that's still not it. Toward the was shown was a man's face. Yeah, there's a problem still. There has to be something related to the picture I'm just not thinking of. Well, that's that contradiction. Sure she may not be the detective. Okay. I was like, what does that mean? Oh, it's that. Right, so detective walks in. Okay, what I'm thinking... That the glove. The thing that's not it, is it? Sorry to interrupt, Mr. Wright. You seem to have forgotten the point of this exercise. The point? What you're looking for is one thing and one thing only. Something that indicates the men may not be Detective Goodman. Oh yeah. Yeah. I almost walked right into the defense's trap. Ow, ow. Place them in the vest, sir. Rat. It is insulting sound tackle these things one piece at a time. Okay, so I spotted something, I just spotted the completely wrong thing. Understood. Right, so I'm trying to find out why I'm suspicious about his face. I was thinking the glove because he would know his own evidence, but I guess that's not it. Actually, wait, hold on. Hold it. Take that. This has to be this, Alfred Mickens. Sir? Do you mean me, sir? As I understand it, the locker apparatus works like this. When you grab the handle, a sensor reads your fingerprint. If it's a match, the light turns on and the lock is released. According to my very limited experience, that's the way I understand it, sir. If so, there's something seriously wrong with this picture. Like how it took me like 4 different times to realize that, hey, it's been open for I don't know how long. When the victim reaches for the handle to open the locker, let's rewind to a little earlier. I swear this jingle's gonna be stuck in my head for a long time. Here, notice the light? What's this? It's already lit? Precise in my point, Your Honor. The locker was already open before the victim grabbed the handle. Eh? Order, order. What's the meaning of this? Very simple, Your Honor. The locker was unlocked on the day of the crime. But the locker locks are controlled by an electric system. When the door is shut, a sensor is triggered. And the locker is automatically locked. Oh, I know. It must have broken down. Of course, I'm no expert in this. It's not like it, Your Honor. The sensor would detect and report any malfunction. Oh well, it just goes to show the opposition kids keep their mouth shut. So to Mr. Knight, do you have an explanation? Me, Your Honor. Yes. Why wasn't the locker locked? Me, Your Honor. Yes, well, you see, this isn't exactly my field. What do you think, Miss Scientific Investigator? Huh? Oh, maybe something like jam the system sensor? Something jam the sensor, say... I think else that seems out of place in this video. Yeah, I thought so too. There's gotta be another clue somewhere in this footage. Very well, let's inspect the video once more. The locker was unlocked. Is that right? Please one of the... Okay, I think now that glove play goes into play. Take that. Please watch closely. This is the continuation of the part I showed you earlier. And drop. What's this? Something white fell something white fell out of the locker. How, sir? It's been my experience that things fall out when doors are opened. I often fall out and grow great distance when I roll, Your Honor, sir. We can't be sure this. Objection. We can't be sure this item was completely inside the locker to begin with. What do you mean? Sensor triggers the lock when the door is shut. What is something was inserted, say, between the sensor and the door? Inserted? And drop. This white thing wasn't inside the locker. It was stuck between the door and the sensor. Oh, ow. I understand now, sir. It's just like my tie. 2 out of 3 times I get stuck in the door when I get out of my patrol vehicle, sir. So the door closing, my tie chokes me. But the object would have to be extremely thin to fit in the glove in the door. Not only that, but it would also have to block electrical circuits. Currents. It would need to be an insulator. Yes, an insulator, but at the crime scene? It just might have been something that fits the description. Sir, by insulator you don't mean... I think I finally got this figured out. Very well. Will the defense please present the relevant evidence? You can have an idea what this is. Take that. Well, I found this near the locker, a thin rubber glove. But we can't be sure that this was in the victim's locker. It has a tag that says SL9 incident. Yeah. The video seems to depict the victim opening the locker. But that isn't the case. That isn't the case. This lab attests to this. On the day of the crime, even I could have opened that locker. Is this not so, Officer Meekins? Sir? It would appear so, sir. Order, order, order. So we are to believe then that the victim whom this witness stabbed in the evidence room was not Detective Goodman? Do not be misled, Your Honor. What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? The defense has merely just demonstrated this possibility, and nothing more. The victim in the video was indeed Bruce Goodman. The prosecution will offer one more testimony to prove this. Nani? Officer Meekins, please testify about this. Sir, Me, sir? I'm not sure what you're referring to, sir. Oh, ow! Oh, you mean that, sir? Of course, sir. This is a joke. Very well. Begin your testimony. Yes, you're meant to. There's one other thing that proves the man with Detective Goodman, sir. To enter the evidence room, one must use your ID card. When ID is used, there's a record of it. Ow! At the time of the crime, Detective had used his card. I have the ID card record right here, Your Honor. The ID used at 514 is that of the victim. This for what a crime, huh? Yes, without a doubt, this is the victim's ID. However, one thing does strike me as unusual. Several hundred cases should have been due for transferal. Why were there so many few people using this room? This particular evidence room is only used for storing certain special cases. Special cases? Extremely violent cases involving police staff. Hearing this makes my hair stand on end. You know, I know it doesn't make much of a difference. There were only a few cases up for transferal there, and most were cleared up by noon. Right, I see. Now let's move on to the cross-examination. I have no idea what I'm eating. Let me know if this is the record the witness refers to. Let me see. That would be it. Detective Goodman. What's the matter? According to this, Mr. Edgeworth, your name is on here. So it is, Your Honor. Not that prosecutor again. Hey, maybe he's behind this. Being a prosecutor, you can hide the evidence. Mommy, is that man in blue a murderer? Shh, don't stare at him. Got the wrong color. It would seem the choir committee will want to speak to you again today. I have nothing to be ashamed of regarding my actions or their consequences. For now, let us continue with the cross-examination. Poor Mr. Edgeworth. Must be still difficult for him. Right, it's hard, you say. Objection. Wait one moment, Officer Meekins. I'm not good at waiting, sir. I had the victim's ID card right here. I found it at the crime scene. Well, that makes sense. When I say crime scene, I'm not referring to the evidence room at the police department. I mean the other crime scene. The underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office. Your Honor, I have one more piece of evidence to present. It's a very important clue regarding the victim's ID card. Lost signer report? It's only half completed. It shows that Detective Goodman had lost something on the day of the crime. Something important enough to fill out this report. Let me guess. You believe this something to be his ID card, right? I can't say for sure, but there is a high probability. On the day of the crime, Detective Goodman was not carrying his card. Order, order. So now, this is all mean. It could only mean one thing. It doesn't even require much thought. The man Officer Meekins encountered in the evidence room was not Detective Goodman, but rather the man who stole his ID card. Order, order, order. Prosecution have a response. I have only one thing to say to the defense. Bravo, Mr. Wright. Bravo. Allow me to summarize the defense's argument. At 5:15 p.m. on the day of the crime, the man in the evidence room Officer Meekins encountered was not Detective Goodman. There are two grounds to support this. First, the locker in the evidence room was already unlocked. Second, the victim lost his ID card. Am I correct so far, Mr. Wright? Yes. What are you up to? That being the case, we must inevitably arrive at a single conclusion. If the victim in this video is a fake, then the murder in the evidence room is also fake. In other words, the security camera does not show the instant of the murder. That is... well, I guess that's right. Is something wrong, Mr. Wright? Only moments ago you seemed content to be pointing your finger around. This isn't gonna end well. Well, well. Seems he finally realized exactly when we gone to such lengths to prove. Explain yourself, Mr. Edgeworth. The defense has already done the explaining for me. The victim in this video is a fake. It means a murder did not take place at the police department at 5:15 on the day of the crime. So the real crime could only take place one location, the underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office. The murderer being Miss Lena Skye, the defendant. The evidence is compelling. Trustworthy witness observed the moment the defendant used a murder weapon. Yeah. You know that testimony is way too shabby. It was all a trap from the beginning. The activity in the evidence room still leaves many questions unanswered. Who exactly was the victim Officer Meekins encountered? And where did this person disappear to? However, this trial's purpose is to examine only the murder of Detective Goodman. Just so, Your Honor. Sir Wright, we have to do something or else Lena... I do. Let's get out of this mess. Objection. One moment, Your Honor. What now, Mr. Wright? Tell me you're objecting to what you just proven. Of course not. But I almost walked right into the prosecution's trap. What are you talking about? This cross-examination has proven one thing and one thing only. The security video did not show the actual murder. However, it cannot be said that this is unrelated to the murder in the parking lot. Specifically, large amounts of blood traces are found in the evidence room. The defense demands further examination into the truth of the matter. Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor. If this court were to examine this further, other witnesses will be necessary. Is the prosecution prepared? Sorry, Your Honor. The prosecution considered the incident at the police department to be unrelated. We are not preparing any other witnesses for this incident. This might be my chance. Now I call a certain Texas Ranger to the stand. Mr. Wright, do you mean... Your Honor, the defense would like to request a specific witness. Oh, whom do you have in mind? Someone we have reason to believe knows the truth. The truth behind the activities that took place in the evidence room. The prosecution requests to hear this person's name before deciding whether or not to comply. Very well then, Mr. Knight. This person who you have testified, what is his or her name? Did not realize Gal was 65. I would like to request the murderers to the stand now. Take that. Officer Jake Marshall. Why him? I don't know everything just yet. He's in charge of the evidence room. I feel we should hear what he has to say. Prosecution agrees to the defense's request. Since he was responsible for guarding the room, we should hear his testimony. Fortunately, he works in the police department. We shouldn't need longer than 20 minutes to prepare. Very well. The court will take a 30-minute recess while the witness is subpoenaed. Will the prosecution please prepare the witness during this time? We will, Your Honor. Court is now in recess. Yeah. These were getting places. February 24th, 11:32 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 2. It's no stopping you, is there, Mr. Wright? Huh? What do you mean? You called for Jake Marshall. It seems he figured everything out. I didn't figure anything out. Lena? You're the one who knows everything. Emma? You always know everything. Why don't you just tell us, Baka? The Wright's just trying his hardest to protect you. I don't recall anyone ever asking for his protection. How can he be so cold? Don't you trust us? Don't you trust me? Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. Oh, yes I am. I'll come back later. Wait, Detective Gunju, what is it? You got a lot of nerve, pal, making you attempt to run around while on duty. To top it up, you call me here? You happy people at funerals. Sorry, Detective. You better be, pal. Hey. Hey. I didn't see you there, the Chief Prosecutor's guy. That's okay, so... have you read what I asked? Oh. Oh. I cannot say that much. You mean this, right? My apologies, Detective. In my present circumstances, I was forced to use Mr. Wright's name when making my request. My name? Never in a million years would I have thought it was you who asked me. Did I bother you to bring me the DSL-9 incident files? I'll need them by noon. Talk about crazy. The SL9 incident? But later, that's... I thought Mr. Wright might need them, so I had them brought here. Here. You might do well to read them. I can't believe you, the Chief Prosecutor, were a witness in that case. This guy was a witness? Files for the Joe Zar killing solved 2 years ago. And take it from me, you don't want anything to do with serial murders. Oh wait, now that I brought you your stuff, you're just gonna ignore me? Emma? But why? Why is your name in here? And Nani? My name's in there? I don't know, unless... No, it couldn't be. Lena? This SL9 incident, is that... That's a classified number the police filed it under. 2 years ago, the rest of the world knew it as the Joe Dark killings. The Joe Dark? No. No, Lena. That's over with. No. Emma, wait. She ran away. You know what? I just remembered. Gotta be somewhere. Sorry, pal, but I'm out of here. Fake Marshall, Angel Star, and Damon Gap, Miles Edgeworth. Not to mention Lena and Emma. They were involved in this cases connected to those killings 2 years ago. This can't be just a coincidence. Knowing you might be able to figure it all out. Time to get back to the trail, Mr. Wright. Best of luck. Better take a good look at this file. To be continued in a few seconds. I would say take a mid-roll break, but we'll keep on pressing forward. February 24th, 12:14 p.m. District Court, Courtroom number 9. The court will now reconvene for the trial of Miss Lena Skye. And Emma's gonna come back. Allow me to call the next witness to the stand. The officer in charge of the guarded evidence room on the day of the crime. Witness, please state your name and occupation. Oh, me, partner? I'm just a man, same as you, wandering the trail of civilization. Occasionally helping narrowly cross intersections when needed. Yes, we get it. Oh, I know. You're a patrolman. As for my name, if you listen hard enough, you can hear the howling wind calling it out. Be exact, it's Jake Marshall, Your Honor. Howling wind? Never heard Edgar described that way before. Now, Mr. Marshall, let me ask you something. You were in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day the crime took place. Is this correct? According to the papers, partner. What do you mean? Desperando's souls as balanced as the dead sands. No paper can sum it up. Maybe it's best we just get on with this quickly. Please share with us the testimony of the day of the crime. In plain old English. The day of the crime. My job was to keep him wary on that bone orchard. They said I was supposed to make rounds 3 times a day, but that ain't my style. Besides, the room is protected by 2 security systems anyway. If I remember right, I was at a street-side saloon at the time when it went down. I'm just an innocent traveling man, so if you're out of ammo, it's time to hit the trail. I can't say I particularly care for your attitude. Now, I can't say I care for your beer, but you don't see me complaining. Wait a minute. What do you mean by two security systems? I mean the security cameras and the ID card reader. I reckon even a cowboy like you knows about those. Yes, well, what about the finger-activated locks on the evidence lockers? Fingerprint-activated locks? A new fangled doohickey are those. Not being very helpful. He's not that good machines, or with following orders. Everyone's got their weaknesses now, don't they, Mr. Prosecutor? This one seems like trouble. Okay, Mr. Wright, he's all yours. Right, let me check this whole files out first. Incident number SL9 closed. Perpetrator Joe Dark, crime serial murder. Sentence with death. Edward Jones, Jason Knight, Edith Kirby, Rachel Moss, Jed Bates, Neil Marshall. All victims. Trial data, the head prosecutor was Edgeworth, because of course. The witnesses were Lena Sky and Emma Sky. Investigative Task Force, Executive Investigators Demon Gant, Lena Sky. Head investigator was Bruce Goodman. And the investigators were Jake Marshall and Angel Star. I mean, I see one contradiction, but well, I see a similar name on the victim and the prosecutors. All right, when in doubt, press. That's why I at least know what I'm looking at. So how exactly do you keep an eye in the evidence room? I just made sure nothing moved in the security camera monitor. That room's still still. Even time dies in there. It's the caretaker who interred the recordings. You interred them? Data's nothing aren't that useful. By the time I come, I'd erase the tape. If nothing unusual is recorded, tapes are to be erased every 6 hours. Each time I erase the tape, it feels like I'm erasing a part of my life. Man, this guy has a flair for the dramatic, but isn't gonna do him any good. So in actuality, you don't physically enter the evidence room. I mean, I see another contradiction, but I don't think it's that point just yet. But you made your rounds on the day of the crime, right? Ain't you heard of what I said, partner? I told you that ain't my style. Right, I don't understand. No desperado I know lets rules get in this way. The desperados I know joined the police force. So Officer Marshall on the day of the crime? Just between you and me, I did set foot in the evidence room that day. There was a rubber glove stuck in the victim's locker. You know anything about that? Sorry, partner. Say I do. I haven't been in that crypt in weeks. How's this guy avoid being fired? So you used to be a detective, so you used the evidence room in the past, right? Correct? Of course. Like in my day, my locker was a gold mine of evidence. And yet, you didn't know about the fingerprint locking mechanism? Sorry, partner. Ain't good machines. I couldn't even tell you how the bike works. It's quite, incredible. The sensors on the lock handles cannot be seen. It's well known that some detectives are unaware of the presence. I didn't mention it. The gumshoe says something like that too. At any rate, it doesn't seem like this is relevant to the crime. Can you tell us what you were doing when the crime took place? So what were you doing in a place like that? I was eating spaghetti. Not even Angel steak lunches can beat that prize. Vungel's Sapia pasta. Do you mean to tell us you abandoned your police duties to eat some noodles? Not all desperado eat tacos, partner. It's not what I meant. I hope that has at least taught you a lesson. It's strange. This is usually where Edra says, "Do you know what a race is there?" Out of ammo, Officer Marshall. That's right, partner. Or as you call it, evidence. You plan to pin me to this crime, then you better draw. Otherwise, you're just wasting my time. A steel horse is waiting to carry me back west into the sunset. One thing seems clear. Despite being responsible for guarding the evidence room, the witness didn't actually appear to have seen anything. Texans don't take orders from anyone. Everyone knows that. Apparently your superiors don't. Okay, I have a trump card up my sleeve, so I best keep my cool. Before I use it though, I better up the ante. Yeah, we'll make rounds 3 times a day. Alright, when in doubt, use some evidence to someone. No, I was thinking maybe no. Okay. Alright, so what am I thinking? I really think this passes exactly. No. It's like, am I using the finger, the hidden fingerprint or not? There we go. Objection. Officer Marshall, doesn't it strike you as odd? That is, you being called in a test like this? After all, you were in the security room at the time of the crime. And yet you dragged me down here. Explain yourself, partner. Quite simple. You left a very large trail behind the scene. Or to be exact, a handprint. Listen real good, partner. Like I said, I'm the caretaker of that crypt. I pay my respects. That is, make my rounds about once a month. It's only natural my fingerprints would be in there. Objection. I only wish it were, officer. But you see, your fingerprints were covered in blood. Witness, what's the meaning of this? Your bloodstained fingerprints were at the crime scene? Blood was wiped away, however. The luminal test clearly reveals this. Well, Officer Marshall? Seems to me there ain't a person in this room with a head on his shoulders. Take you to have an explanation, Officer Marshall, about the bloodstained fingerprints. Very well, you may begin your testimony about your fingerprints found at the scene of the crime. Bloodstained fingerprints. Like I said, it's only natural for our fingerprints to be in that evidence room. One of them just happened to be at the same place as the bloodstained handprint. The murderer touched the locker where my fingerprints was by chance. The bloodstains and the fingerprints are completely unrelated. Or didn't you know the murderer was wearing gloves? See? I had nothing to do with it. Yeah. Witness's explanation appears valid. Although there's room for doubt. Life wouldn't be fun without any doubt, partner. The defense may now cross-examine the witness. I was hiding something, I could feel it. That was my chance to prove it. That's because, how you put it, your respect was a month. Yeah, that's right. And one more thing. That locker happened to be mine. What? What do you mean? I mean what I said. That's a locker I used when I was a detective. The locker I still use. All else in there now is just it's just a heap of broken dreams. I see. It'd be strange if my prints weren't all over that locker. Only his fingerprint data was never removed from the locker's programming. He must have been using a fingerprint lock all this time without ever knowing it. So then, what about the bloody handprint? It wasn't mine. It's no mystery. Please explain. My locker is covered with my fingerprints. Just so happened. The chances of that happening are 1,000,000 to 1. On the contrary, one could just argue just the opposite. The chances of that not happening are 1,000,000 to 1. Get one thing straight, partner. You ain't gonna get no word from me with a mere fingerprint. You wanna know why? Unrelated. The recipient is night and day. And I'm like cereal and cereal. One's gotta do a breakfast while it is a type of murder. He's right. Although seemingly alike, they're totally different. I don't see how hominins have to do with this. Didn't I? Hold it. How do you know that? I may be a loner, but I still do my job, keep up on the reports. There was a blood stain at the scene, thought to have been left by the murderer. Yes, that's right. It was the one on Detective Goodshoe's locker. However, no fingerprints were detected on that handprint. I think we tried that too. So that would mean the murderer wearing gloves happened to place their hands on top of Officer Marshall's fingerprint. That's the only logical conclusion. Are you starting to get the picture, partner? Picture. The seal of blood in the desert is just food for the buzzards. There's only one reality, and that there is this. Security tape. As long as my trail isn't in there, you can't say otherwise. This isn't getting us anywhere, Mr. Wright. Please consider carefully where you're going with this cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. Now, then continue your testimony, Officer Marshall. So what do you mean by that? You want to tell me this crime is not right, partner? So the video is the only direct evidence you have. Objection. That video is actually useless, it's full of blind spots. Blind spots? Places you can't see. Cameras banning back and forth, the floor isn't shown. If someone's familiar with the camera's position, it could leave the room without ever being caught on tape. I don't have time for your speculations, Mr. Wright. Well, Mr. Wright, you can show us evidence in that video that indicates Officer Marshall was present. Please do so now. Very well. Allow me to point out your mistake, Officer Marshall. Tread carefully, Mr. Wright, or you might wind up being the one making the mistake. Now, then let's have another look at the video. Show us this incriminating evidence of the witness, Officer Jake Marshall. And look at the whole evidence scene again. Give me one sec. Right, so it's the one at the end. Just making sure. Keep rolling. Danny's unconscious. Wait, I think I see it. Hold on. Take that. There. How's that for evidence? Eh? Please allow me to apologize for my colleague, Your Honor. He gets carried away sometimes. Yes, well, this certainly is at first. Were you forgiven too, Officer Marshall? Sound bad. Let me guess, I chose the wrong locker when I was pointing out the contradiction. I'm gonna go back to that. No, not that. I meant to press. I meant to press, not eat the evidence out of space. I mean, eat the video out of space. I think I know what they want me to point out. I feel like I pointed the wrong locker out when I was pointing the contradiction. I think what they want me to show is Marshall's locker before he opened it, or after he opened it. Because I can tell, like, right there, that's when it opened. Ah, bloody hell. Bring your attention back to the security camera. It's a mistake I'm afraid you'll soon not forget, Officer Marshall. Also, take that. Days are short in Texas, so are our tempers. Can you tell me what you had to say in 8 words or less? Very well. You can clearly be seen in this video. Exactly 8 words. Yeah, not bad, partner. The key lies in a certain locker shown in the video. That locker with the white claw sticking out. That was a Windows, I believe. Now then, let's rewind the video a bit. So right idea, I just picked the wrong time to point out the contradiction. How about being precise? Oh, the white cloth. It's gone. What's the meaning of this, Officer Marshall? When the crime took place, the white cloth wasn't there. Then it suddenly appeared. There's only one explanation. Officer Marshall, you're in the evidence room at the time of the crime. What's more, you opened your locker when the camera was turned away. Order, order. It was seen not only... Hold your horses. Sorry, partner. But you got the wrong man. Yeah. So what if my locker was opened? That doesn't mean I'm the one who opened it. The murderer needed to hide something, so we opened the locker and stuck it in. Not my fault you happen to choose mine. I'm staring at me like I'm a wanted man. This guy isn't just plain dumb. He really doesn't know. I hate to rain your parade, but you're the only person who could open a particular locker. Oh yeah, I call your bluff. You say I opened that locker, now prove it. Take that. Fingerprint sensor. We talked about this earlier today. The lockers can only be opened by the detectives they belong to. What kind of crazy talk is this? Well, Detective Gumshoe did mention something about this. In any case, the locks aren't that obvious. There are even some people on the force that don't even know about the fingerprint locks. Apologies for the cough, by the way. So, Sheriff, what do you have to say in 8 words or less? I only got 1 word for you, partner. No. Order, order, order. Witness, explain yourself. If this is a joke, worst I've ever heard. I assure you this is no joke, Officer Marshall. Now then, please tell us what you were doing in the evidence room at the time of the crime. Olay, please answer the question. What is he now, bullfighter? That's alright, Officer Marshall. I believe we can figure out the rest from here. We can? Have a look at these floor plans. There's no place for someone to hide in the evidence room. Yet Officer Meekins didn't see Officer Marshall. If that's so, then where was the witness? It seems Mr. Wright has an answer. That's right, there's only one possible conclusion. That's right, the only possible conclusion. Well then, let's hear it. This is gonna be a naughty moment, isn't it? But only one place I could think of. Take that. Officer Marshall was standing right here. Hmm. So, Officer Meekin didn't notice him standing there? It's almost as credible as Meekin's rupture. Of course, it was not the choice. Officer Meekin should have seen him in the evidence room. That means the only place he could have been. Then where did it be? He saw him from outside? Officer Marshall was standing right here. Yes. I'm not gonna get points for twice for taking poorly. And I forgot to. Alright, fine. Well, I knew I forgot to save when I did all that. Hold on, we'll get there in a sec. I knew I forgot to save. My bad. I mean, it gives me a chance to reevaluate where he was standing at exactly. But I think I'll re-examine the fingerprint location, just in case. I feel like where he's standing is where this thing was standing at, possibly. Now, for dog's sake, I was too slow on the draws, as you would say. This thing should be in a derp. Right, back to this again. So I'm assuming he was standing where the mascot was at. That's my only assumption. Because that would mean he'd be able to peek over the corner, realize that something went wrong, and just run. Well, not really run, but move back before the camera would turn back to him. Alright, back to eating the locker information out of him again. Let me save right here now, because I think this is when they tell me, hey, we can figure it out ourselves. Maybe it was right here. Officer Marshall was standing right here. So Officer Meekins didn't notice him standing there? Of course, that's not it. Wait, I'm thinking the other way around. Camera would... Wish I could look at the actual map. Officer Marshall was standing right here. Let me look at the record again before I reload it again. I would assume he'd be standing like directly under where the camera's at. Well, either way, back to reloading that specific moment before they told me, hey, find it, figure it out. Right there. Why would they consider know some standing there? Think about this again. But actually think a little bit more about where Officer Marshall was. Officer Macon should have seen him in the evidence room. I'm trying to think that he would be standing like watching the cameras. This is gonna be a long day to figure out what happened. Look at this one more time. Okay, I think I have an idea. Wait, hold on. Let me take a look one last look at this. Okay, I think I have an idea. I was thinking like in between because that would mean he wouldn't be spotted by the camera. I doubt it's this. I will say this is a tricky one to figure out exactly. Okay, let me think. No, not wrong picture. The only place I could think of is with all the junk. Maybe I pointed at the wrong. Well, I'm gonna keep on trying anyway. I will eventually figure this out. There. Of course, I pushed the K first, the killer spot first, and then not the victim. But that's where the victim Detective Goodman was. Correct. Unless the man wasn't Detective Goodman. I believe the victim in this video is Officer Marshall. It was you dressed up like Detective Goodman. That's preposterous. Officer Meekins witnessed the detective at the crime scene. Once he saw the man's face, he knew for sure. Objection. Let me point out though that Officer Meekins did not know Detective Goodman. He also testified about the man's reaction when confronted. When I entered the evidence room, I asked him to show his card, sir. Yes, and how did Detective Goodman respond? Yeah. Suddenly pulled a knife on me. Sir. The thing about this officer's story puzzled me. If the man had his ID card, why didn't he just show it? Yes, he needed to enter the evidence room, so he must have been carrying it. The answer is simple. He couldn't show it. Yeah. As you can see, Detective Goodman's picture is on his ID card. Oh, I get it. If he showed that, his cover would have been blown. Officer Meekins would not have realized the man wasn't Detective Goodman. You guys need to say this, Officer Marshall? Yeah. Got quite an imagination, partner. You got a term for that. It's called circumstantial evidence. Circumstantial evidence? He's still denying it? You'd have to do better than that to break a detective. Does he have hard evidence proving I dressed up as the victim? Yeah. Can't say I particularly care for your uncooperative disposition. I can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complaining. Wow, Mr. Wright, do you have any evidence proving beyond a shadow of a doubt that Officer Marshall dressed up as the victim? Oh, am I kidding? I don't have anything like that. I can see the fear in your eyes, partner. Seems you're the one that couldn't take the desert heat. Yeah, can't be happening. So obvious he's the one. I do. Looks like your lack of experience has finally been exposed. Eh? I'll pass on to you what someone told me when I was just starting out. When you've run into a wall with no place to go, return to the basics. The basics? For me, that would be what Mia used to tell me. Phoenix, try thinking outside the box. Outside of the box, we would say. I should look for proof that Officer Marshall was in disguise. But rather, I should look for evidence that came about because he was in disguise. Why do you think this locker was open in the first place? What do you mean? There's no reason for Officer Marshall to open his locker at the time of the crime. Yet he did, despite the chance it might be discovered later as it has been. Tracy didn't originally plan to open his locker? According to the defense's argument, Officer Jake Marshall dressed up as Detective Goodman at the time of the crime. And then after the crime was committed, he opened his own locker for some unknown reason. The fact that a white cloth is sticking out of the locker seems to indicate that he opened it in order to put the cloth inside. So, what exactly is this piece of cloth? Perhaps the video is the key to all our unanswered questions. How many evidence so this video is finally shot? Very well. Let's take another look at the security tape. Let me say it because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to point something out that seems unsubstantial but relevant. After committing the crime, the witness opened the locker to put away the white cloth. They show us why the witness had to open the lock. All I know is they're gonna be hearing this music for a while while I try to think this over. I'm still thinking it's a glove, and that's why. Oh, it's like a frame by frame. That's pretty cool. For some reason, you disguise yourself as Detective Goodman and enter the evidence room. I don't know what I don't know to what end yet. However, something unexpected happened. Officer Meekins barged in on you. When asked to show your ID card, you pulled a knife on him. However, Officer Meekins panicked, and the white coat you were wearing was soiled with blood. A bloody white coat? You couldn't just walk out like that. So you hid the coat in your locker. Not bad, partner. Now then, Officer Marshall. Are you ready to tell us the truth? Looks like I underestimated y'all. I hope you're happy now, Mr. Edgeworth. 2 years ago. If you're only as happy, persistent as you are today, we all wouldn't have to be here now would we? Officer Marshall, tell the court what you did, all of it. Alright. Seems the time has come. Marshall's confession. I had to do it that day. I couldn't just stand by and let it die. I stole the detective's ID and dressed like him. I planned to take out the evidence. I wasn't expecting Officer Meekins. I knocked him out. I managed to escape. I knew which areas wouldn't be caught on the camera. There was any murder in the evidence room at 5:15. So the supposed victim was really you? But there's one thing I still don't understand. Traces of a large quantity of blood were found on the floor of the evidence room. If no one was murdered, then how could that be? Officer Minkus managed to cut his own hand. My guess is he's the donor. Way too much blood for such a simple donation. What do I have again? Well, just have to press till I find out. When you say it, you mean... You even have to ask, partner? Yes, on night incident. 2 years have passed since the case was closed. It was going to completely end with the transferal that day. No, not if I had anything to do with it. The incident's not over. I actually hope to accomplish by sneaking into the evidence room. When the case is closed, only the case's lead detective can go through the evidence. I want to have a look at myself one more time. At what the cost. I don't care if anyone says, partner. The case is mine. Officer Marshall was in charge of the investigation. Why does he care so much about it? And today was the last chance. That's why... I feel like I know what I need to yeet at this guy. Let me add this Westman. Why did you disguise yourself as Detective Goodman? If I didn't make it look like Goodman was carrying out the evidence transferal, I'd be arrested for stealing evidence, which wouldn't get me anywhere. So you did to fool the security camera? And the detective's ID card? I stole that the morning of the incident. So it really was why Goodman started filling out the lost item report. I returned his ID card. I left it on the floor in the prosecutor's office parking lot. The ID card I found was left there by Officer Marshall. So essentially, you managed to succeed despite your lack of foresight. What do you mean, partner? I mean the fingerprint activated lock, of course. No matter how well you disguise yourself, you can't change your fingerprints. Under normal circumstances, you wouldn't have been able to open that lock yourself. But he could because a rubber clip just happened to get stuck in the door. That means Detective Goodman must open the locker before Officer Marshall. Wait, so... Okay, I'll tell you one more time. So you pulled a knife off Sir Meekins to try to drive him off? Let's just say I was a little surprised. And Lieutenant being the evidence for no more than 5 minutes. I didn't think anyone would actually come in during that short time. Sir Meekins certainly is a one-in-a-million type of person. Taking a detective for an intruder and demanding to be shown his ID. I have to think a little more. I have to think a little more about his races here. When did Edward get so much influence? Anyway, he threw himself at me and I ended up cutting him slightly. Sorry it had to turn out that way. Me knocking him out and everything. By the way, what happened to your knife? Excuse me. You know, where the nose goes, it goes. Oh, you mean this one? Don't know what to say. So you knock off to make us out and... So you did the research beforehand. Those who go into the test are prepared to live long, partner. I didn't think it'd make a difference though. Security tapes are erased every 6 hours. If all had gone as planned, no footage would have been left. However, you bloodied your kill in that struggle with Officer Meekins. Someone was in a security room when I came out, the jig would have been up. I opened my locker and stashed it in there. So what was Officer Meekins doing during that time? What else? He was sleeping like a baby. So what you're saying is, on that day, okay, I think I got it. No, I don't got it. Maybe I should actually continue to press. But the blood found on the scene certainly indicates a crime took place. What are you, blind? The victim shown on the tape is me, and I'm not dead yet, partner. So you stole the evidence from the locker? Actually, no, I didn't. Why not? When I opened the locker, the evidence was already gone. What? Mr. Edgeworth, where's that evidence? It's still missing, Your Honor. Dr. Goodman's locker is already empty. Someone else stole the evidence? Officer Marshall, may I ask you one thing? Fire away, partner. It's a free country. Just remember, I'm also free to decide whether or not to answer. Why did you do this? Stealing a Texas ID, injuring a police officer? This is no small offense. Moreover, you're an officer yourself. This will have serious consequences. You can't be just forgiven with a simple cut in salary. The salary cuts are ever a valid solution. Like I said, this isn't your case. This one's is mine. And I'll do anything it takes to get an answer I'm satisfied with. The witness has an unusual amount of zeal. Hear more. The case was solved 2 years ago, wasn't it? So recent evidence was stored in the evidence room. Joe Tark was convicted for his crimes. One thing I can say for sure is that he deserved his sentence. I remember the Joe Dark case. It involved serial murders, didn't it? I don't intend to complain about how it turned out, but there's something that still bothers me. Something went down at that trial. Something no one will talk about. What happened? I don't know. It's what I'm trying to find out. I'm just so concerned with that incident. Maybe I should present him what I think his real reason is. I had a feeling we'd wind up here sooner or later. Everyone involved here is related in some way to that case. I think I have an idea. And I have one thing, and one thing only to say. Objection. Officer Marshall, I think I understand. I think I know why you care so much about the SL9 incident. Sounds like you've been sipping too much cactus juice, partner. I have the SL9 incident file here. The name Marshall is mentioned in here. In the list of murder victims. Neil Marshall. Are you related to this man? Neil Marshall? Yeah, sure you heard the name. 2 years ago. He received the same lousy prosecutor award you got. What? I mean, Nani? Prosecutor? You must be talking about the King of Prosecutors award. Now I remember. Prosecutor Neil Marshall. He handled the S9 case before I did. That's right. He was killed. And the case fell into your hands. But what's his relation to you? He was my brother. He was investigating the murders with Dan McGann, the then Deputy Chief of Police. Also, that's what the lower pic. You can't see it now, but that's what this picture was. That's his brother. And I feel bad about cross-examining them now. The group of detectives I was part of worked under them. We were desperate to prosecute the killer. Joe Dark. My brother fought Dark and was killed. That was the first time Dark left behind any evidence. That was all we needed. He was arraigned and incarcerated. Case was finally closed. At least, according to the public records. What do you mean? My brother couldn't have been killed by Joe Dark. I knew my brother better than anyone. No one could have beaten him in a fight. That's it? That's your reason for your insane actions? I'm smarter than my brother's death and what the records say. No matter how much you try to hide it, you can't fool me. Well, at least one thing's for certain. Now we know what happened at the police department the day of the crime. That was the last day the Estella case could be reopened. Now satisfied with his resolution, Officer Marshall planned to steal the evidence. Disguising himself as Detective Goodman, he entered the evidence room. Officer Meekins confronted him, so he rendered him unconscious and fled. Yes, this mystery has finally been cleared up. No murder took place at the police department that day. Yeah. Things that happen by chance never cease to amaze. At exactly the same time as the murder at the prosecutor's office, this fake murder was going on at the police department. Chance? It's gotta be more than just that. So if no one was murdered at the police department the day of the crime, that means the murder in the prosecutor's office parking lot was a real one? Which in turn means only one person could have committed the crime. Chief Prosecutor Lana Sky. Objection. But wait. Verdict wasn't reaching yesterday's trial. Which is why we examined the incident at the police department today. But there's only one reason the defendant was not convicted yesterday. The year remained a mystery to simultaneous murder at the police department. Seems to me, this boy's got the Johnny partner. All the mystery to the police department has been resolved, no doubt about it. However, our sole murder took place at the prosecutor's office. The only suspect is Lena Sky. And the testimony of one Angel Star is completely uncontestable. If you have a response, make it a single word or less. I rest my case. It seems this trial has reached its conclusion. There's no room for doubt. Well done, Mr. Wright. I see you. I didn't need to waste my time. Disproving the alleged murder at the police department. No doubt what I proved today is true. The apparent murder in the security camera's tape really was fake. I didn't realize that would end up proving Lena guilty. Now then, the time for the verdict has arrived. This court finds the defendant. Emma? Objection. Your Honor, wait. Emma? The defense has an objection. A scientific objection. Right? What do you mean, right? Mr. Wright, are you this girl's guardian? Your Honor? In a sense. Please, Your Honor. All I'm asking for is a minute of your time. Please hear me out. Mr. Ashworth, please? Don't want to leave any loose ends. You want a minute? I'll give you 3. I was kind of in shock. I mean, lying about the S9 incident referring to the Joe Star killings. Now she mentions it. The names of both Sky sisters were in that file. But that's when I figured it out. I mean, what Officer Marshall was trying to do that day. So I knew his fingerprint had nothing to do with the crime. That left only one thing. The other handprint. You mean the traces of blood found inside the gumshoe locker? But no fingerprints are found on it, right? No, but I figured out I examined it scientifically. I'd be sure to find a clue. So I ran over there and looked at it again. So, did you find something? No. No? I mean, Nani? Sorry. Guess I'm not much of a scientific investigator after all. Is that all? Please don't be mad. I'm just a high school student. And I'm just an attorney. But Mr. Wright, those traces of blood are the only clue we have. If you can't find something wrong with them, please, Mr. Wright, you're a professional. If anyone can save Lena, it's you. Me? Oh boy. Time's up. Now then, Mr. Wright. With regards to the incident at the police department, does any reasonable doubt remain? It appears the offense is trailed by the other blood mark. Looking at the floor plans, a handprint was discovered around here. Is there a problem with this? Mr. Wright? Mr. Wright can't be of more use. But still, if you can't find anything wrong with that blood print, Lane will be... That's my question, Mr. Wright. We don't have all day. Yes, Your Honor. If ever I need to concentrate, it's now. What could be wrong with the handprint at Detective Gumshoe's locker? Could there be something I'm missing? Objection. This handprint left at the crime scene clearly shows a contradiction. The only thing that seems clear is you're grassy, Mr. Wright. It's staring pretty intently at these floor plans. Tell me, is there a problem with them? Yes, it's strange. Take a good look at these floor plans. Something's missing. Missing? You mean something hasn't been drawn in there? Yes, something that, when drawn, will completely change the meaning of the blood mark. That's spread of defenses is simply trying to buy time. I'm gonna say first. It's probably gonna say, what evidence do you have? Very well, Mr. Knight. All this evidence here, it's gotta be something I can use. The question is, what item could prove something is missing in the floor plans? Alright, now I know. Take that. What about that piece of plywood? The Blue Badger, mascot of the police force. Vinegar Truth, guardian of proof. Explain yourself, Mr. Wright. Take a look at the floor plans of the crime scene. The Blue Badger is not here. So watch what happens when we put him in. This is where he was dancing at the scene of the crime. Well, what? That's right. So long as the Blue Badger is dancing here, it would be impossible to place a handprint at the spot on this locker. Nani? Also, pew! Can't resist. So that means, just exactly what does this mean? It means it can't be done. What are you saying? Blood traces were undeniably found in that locker. Now look at me, I didn't put it there. So right, think it through scientifically. Emma. On that afternoon, Officer Mingus was the one who brought the Blue Badger to the evidence room, right? After he put it down, it would be impossible to leave a handprint on the locker. So that must mean this blood mark was left there before the Blue Badger was brought in? Just one moment. Now there's this far-fetched border attached in my courtroom. It may sound far-fetched, Your Honor, but it's the only possible explanation. On February 21st, in the police department's evidence room, blood was spilled not once, but twice. But how? One time was captured on his tape, taken by the security camera. Officer Meekins cut his hand, from which a trivial amount of blood fell. The problem is the other time. Someone bled prior to the struggle shown on his tape. It had to have been Detective Goodman when he was really murdered. That's ridiculous. I refuse to accept your absurd claim. Objection. That murder portrayed in the security tape had to have been proven to be a fake. However, that does not explain the blood mark found on the locker. So then, assuming his murder you purport really happened, when did it take place? I demand you show evidence that proves when it occurred. When did the first incident occur? To summarize, the defense claims that Private Officer Meekins being cut by Jake Marshall, who was posing as Detective Goodman. Another incident took place in that evidence room. That's right. Blood mark on this blocker proves this. Very well. Then tell us. When did this first incident occur? As Mr. Edgeworth said, proof must be presented. Proof that shows when the murder took place. There's only one piece of evidence that can show that. Now then, will the defense please present its evidence? I can only think of one thing. Take that. If the crime took place inside the evidence room, then the killer would have had to enter it. In order to do so, an ID card would have been required. An ID card? Oh, the ID card record. Officer Meekins brought the Blue Badger into the evidence room at, see here, 4:50 p.m. If the crime took place before that time, then it would be 4:40 p. Miles Edgeworth? Just what have you done? I never would have. Oh, I never would have figured you had the nerve, boy. Drop the act, witness. It doesn't take a lot of time to figure out that it couldn't have been me. Nope, I ain't getting it. I'm afraid I don't understand either. It's clear from the luminal test that blood was there. However, when the second crime took place, both Officer Meekins and Officer Marshall failed to notice the blood. That means the blood from the first crime was wiped away by the real murderer. I would have just been 10 minutes to bury the victim, carry his body away, and clean up the blood. Fortunately, that's physically impossible. That would mean the crime must have taken place before Mr. Edgeworth entered the evidence room. Right, so let's look at the chart again. There's only one other card number remaining. 7777777. Talk about a lucky number. But wait, doesn't make sense. How could Detective Goodman have entered the evidence room? Since there's no record of his card being used beforehand, he must have entered alone. He must have entered along with the real murderer. That's the only plausible explanation. He went in with 7777777. Mr. Edgeworth, please look into this ASAP. Find out whose ID number is all those sevens. That's one seven too many, Your Honor. Unfortunately, I'm unable to look up the owner of that ID card. At least at present. Nani? Explain yourself, son. The ID number is 7777777. 7 belong to someone with a rank of captain or higher. Someone who is a so-called executive officer. You don't have the authority to inquire into such a person's identity. Objection. That's ridiculous. Just how? Not finished talking, Mr. Wright. There is one situation in which we could be granted such authority. If an official charge filed against executives accepted. An official charge? You're all alike, aren't you? With your cover-ups and your forgeries. That's how the prosecutor's office operates. I take pride in my work, Officer Marshall. I would appreciate it if you would keep your slander to yourself. Slander, is it? Okay. Let me ask a question. Yes? No, not to you. To her. The defendant sitting over there. Your own little executive. Lena? Don't be stupid. She's been charged with murder. Of course, we looked up her ID number, and it's not 7777777. Don't play me for a fool, partner. That's not what I want to ask. I want to know is one thing about that incident. The SL9 incident. Answer me this, Chief Prosecutor. In that trial 2 years ago, did you really only use legitimate evidence? Do you need the witness to repeat his question, Chief Prosecutor? I heard him fine, Mr. Edgeworth. 2 years ago, I was in charge of the prosecution for that trial. At the time, occasionally, we felt the powerlessness of the law. At least, I did. Yeah? Lena? I became a prosecutor in order to suppress crime with the law. But before I realized it, we were the ones being suppressed by the law. Defendant, what are you saying? I ask you again, Chief Prosecutor. During a trial 2 years ago, did you really present all the evidence in court? Can you look me, an investigator in that crime, in the eye and say that you did? Chief Prosecutor, didn't? I don't know how to, Officer Marshall. Eh? Why won't you answer him? Drastic crimes require drastic measures. That's just the way it is. Did what we had to, in order for him to get the verdict he deserved. But Lena, even if it involved forging evidence, see, that's what I'm talking about. No. No. Order, 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 order. His remarks caused such a stir. Chaos in the courtroom could not be quelled. The conclusion of the trial would have to wait until the following day. To be continued. I'm actually gonna get up to stretch because it's been over 2.5 hours. I want to get up and stretch real quick. I'm gonna run some mid-roll ads. I'm gonna leave you with some comfy tunes. I'm just gonna run a quick minute ad or minute and a half ad. So that mid-rolls are disabled for the next part of the investigation. So we'll go with not sure what to play, honestly. We'll go to some Persona 3 music, and we'll be back in just a bit. So, see you in a minute. I'm just gonna get up a stretch, not gonna play, and not gonna continue onward until the break's over. So, just stay tuned. We were back. Get up, stretch, relax, do whatever you do. We'll be back in just a minute. Okay, we are back. Let me just cut the music and we'll get right back to the heat of things. There it is. I am back. Just want to get up and stretch because I've been sitting for a little bit too long. Oh, never mind. Just being a derp. Save the game real quick and on we go. February 24th, 3:12 p.m. Wright and Cole offices. Oh, sorry, Mr. Wright. Sorry for what my sister said. Drastic crimes require drastic measures. That's just the way it is. We did what we had to, in order for him to get the verdict he deserved. I didn't know. I never knew that the SN9 incident was just another name for Joe Dark killings. Not like everyone heard about these killings but me. Elena wanted Dark convicted so badly. That's why she used me. That's why she used what happened to me. What do you mean, what happened to you? It's all there in the file. Joe Dark's last victim was Prosecutor Neil Marshall. When he murdered Officer Marshall's brother, he left behind an incriminating piece of evidence. But what did you have to do with these killings, Emma? On the night Prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered, Joe Dark tried to kill me. Did Nani try to kill you? Officer Marshall's brother, Neil, is only trying to save me. So that means you? Yes. I was a witness to the Joe Dark trial. I didn't see that one coming. It happened 2 years ago. It was right about this time of the year too. There was a terrible thunderstorm that day, unusual for the season. I was alone in my sister's office. We were planning to eat dinner together once she finished her work. Then, suddenly, a terrifying man came bursting into the office. Joe Dark. It seemed like he was running for someone. He pulled out a knife and screamed at me. Didn't know what was going on. Just then, Prosecutor Marshall showed up. Jake Marshall's brother. Joe Dark tried to take me hostage, but before he could, Mr. Marshall tackled him. And then... what happened? Never forget it. Lightning struck and the lights went out. Suddenly, a bolt of lightning flashed outside the window, lighting up the office for an instant. When I saw it, then burned a permanent picture on my mind. I still see it now. A permanent picture? And I remember the moment when Dark stabbed Mr. Marshall. So you weren't able to testify about that? No. I was only asked when I was attacked. It must be why why she made up the crime. Made it up? You mean provided bogus evidence? Prosecutor's office wanted the guilty verdict so badly. Lena forwarded the evidence and Mr. Edgeworth used it. Edgeworth? Yes, but I'm sure he didn't know anything about it. He couldn't have known he was given false evidence. And so that's when it all started. The rumors about Mr. Edgeworth, I mean, it's all my fault. If I could have just testified properly, none of this would have happened. It was true. Even though he may not have known it. Edgeworth really was involved in falsifying evidence. After that case ended, Lena was never the same. She became cold like she is today. She must not be able to face up to what she did, especially not to Emma. So, what did you see in that instant the crime occurred? Drake knocked down Mr. Marshall and raised his knife. The old Marshall was stabbed right in front of this poor girl. I don't remember what happened after that. Apparently I passed out. When I came to, Lana was cradling me in her arms. Poor Emma. We'd do so much. I couldn't bring myself to testify about that instant. I tried, but words just wouldn't come out. I drew a picture, but it wasn't any good. 2 years ago, I must have been 14. It's understandable. Once it was all over, I made up my mind. I decided that when I grow up, I'd become a scientific investigator. I want to be able to fight crime with my testimonies and find that evidence to make an airtight case. That way Lena would never have to forge any. Hey. I think I'm finally starting to understand what makes Emma tick. But there's still something that bothers me about that crime. Something that's puzzling me, Emma. What is it? You said you were in Nana's office at that time, right? And that's right. Why didn't a serial killer come running in there? Not only that, but he was being chased by a prosecutor? Oh, there's no mystery there. Joe Dark had just been taken in for questioning that day. Taken in for questioning? You mean by the police? Of course. This happened at the police department. He tried to run away halfway through the interview and fled into my sister's office. But why did he run all the way over to your sister's office? Because the detective offices in the questioning room are right across from the elevator? Across from the elevator? But Lena was the chief prosecutor, wouldn't she? No, silly. Didn't I tell you? 2 years ago, Lena was a detective. Nani? She was the best in the entire force. That is once again news to me. Because of course she was. After the Joe Dark case, she was transferred to the prosecutor's office and made chief prosecutor. Lana used to be a detective? I better have another talk with her. February 24th, Detention Center Visitors Room. Lena. Mr. Wright. Seems I keep causing you trouble. Also find evidence. I didn't think you were the type. Criminals don't mind playing foul, why should we? But Lena, if you're wrong, an innocent person might be found guilty. Believe me, I understand the risk. Lena? Emma told me about you. No? About how you were a detective 2 years ago. And how the S9 incident was the reason we were transferred to the prosecutor's office. That's right. Could you fill me on the details, especially about that unusual change of jobs? Suppose you have a right to know, Mr. Wright. A lot of revelations were covered at the trial today, not the least of which was the fact that this case is largely connected to another one 2 years ago. Evidence from that case was stolen as well. Thought I expected as much. Though I expected as much. I know how obsessive Officer Marshall could be. A trial? It really wasn't fair, was it? I believed in you, Lena. I believed that no matter what happened, you'd always stick to the truth. Can it be helped, Emma? At the trial 2 years ago, sold my soul. Well, all drama aside, the fact of the matter is, at 5:15 there was no murder at the police department. Tell me it's not true, Lena. What the witness Miss Starr said? About you stabbing Mr. Goodman with a knife? Lena? Don't understand. Why won't you tell us? Emma? Doesn't involve just me. Have you ever seen Lena look so phased before? It's true. I was a member of the police force 2 years ago. She was amazing. They still talk about all the cases she and Chief Gant cracked together. Chief Gant? He was a deputy chief of police back then, but he still worked the crime scenes. Damon Gant. He was everything I aspired to be. They were the best team ever. They solved cases before the reports could even be filed. And they really idolized her big sister. But now you're chief prosecutor. What happened? I always planned on becoming a prosecutor. The reason I became a detective was to gain experience investigating crime scenes so you can use that experience in court, right? Gant's help on the SNN case was crucial to its resolution. After that, he became chief of police and arranged my transfer to the prosecutor's office. Maybe I should ask more about his investigation of theirs 2 years ago. 2 years ago, I was second in command of the detectives investigating Dark. Second in command? That means the investigation lead was Damon Gant, right? Yes. Deputy Chief Gant and I shared the same office and the same investigations. They even had the same office? We led a team of the best detectives on the force. Detective Goodman, whose case it was, Jake Marshall, and Angel Starr. It was the first time Marshall worked with his brother. He was quite gung-ho. Without a doubt, Joe Dark was a serial killer. We asked him to come in for questioning. We were desperate for evidence. That was when his final murder took place. When he tried to murder Emma. Prosecutor Marshall was trying to save me from Dark. You see, the first person who happened upon the scene of the crime was me. Now you tell us. Damon Gant and Neil Marshall were once questioning Dark that day. The investigation was in its final stages and Dark must have suddenly panicked. So he waited until Gant and Marshall let the guards down, then fled the room. From there he ran straight to the office shared by Deputy Chief Gant and myself. That's where he found me. So you're the first person to run to the scene, Dana? It appears so. I was following some papers while Gant and Marshall were questioning Dark. When I returned to my office, I saw 3 bodies on the floor and smelled blood. 3 bodies? Prosecutor Marshall, the victim Emma who had passed out, and the suspect, Joe Dark. During the struggle, it seemed Mr. Marshall struck a final blow before he died. Joe Dark had incurred a minor concussion and lay unconscious. So, what did you do? To be honest, I panicked. I picked up Emma, carried her out of the room, and just held her. I can't blame her. After all, her sister must have gone through. After that, I placed Dark under immediate arrest. So let me get this straight. You were all involved in the SL9 incident? That's right. Quite a coincidence, huh? I don't buy it. What are you saying? There's no way everyone involved in this trial was also involved in an incident just by chance. That case was solved 2 years ago. At least one person went to extremes because they didn't believe it was truly solved. Officer Marshall. As his actions came as a surprise to me as well. Ever since his brother died, he's changed completely. I guess he wasn't convinced the ruling against Joe Jark. Life doesn't end with the closing of a case. Everyone has to live the rest of their lives with their memories. That case just might not be over yet. Yeah. Emma was assaulted by Jark at the police department, right? Yes, in the office that Damon Gann and I shared. The office that Mr. Gann now occupies by himself. The chief's office. Maybe we should have a look at the chief's office. Decide the final SL9 murder. February 24th, Police Department, Criminal Affairs. I don't see if that's gumshoe anywhere. Things seem kind of quiet around here today. Right. Chief Detective still seems the same now. Why don't we go look for some other people to talk to? Right. You come back here later. I meant to go to... Actually, no, I would be going to, Criminal Affairs and then Police Department, right? Because that's where his office is, right? Police Department entrance. Howdy, Bambina. Oh, Miss Marshall. I never thought things would turn out this way when I woke up this morning. Yes, sir. You never know where life will lead you, Bambina. I should have known my luck I'd run out when old Billy dried up this morning. Billy? Must be his pet cactus. Say, where are you headed? Just over to the prosecutor's office for a little interrogation. It's a voluntary appearance, but we all know I won't be coming back. It's alright, but you can't go into the evidence room today, partner. It's Marshall. Why'd she do it? Why the prosecutors head west? If ever there was a case I needed to know the truth about, it was that one. Before you turn yourself in, Mr. Marshall, would you mind telling us exactly what happened? Looks like I'll be getting a steak lunch today. Nothing was fishy about that trial from the beginning. It wasn't just me either. All the detectives thought so. So, what do you mean fishy? Well, some of the facts reported were inconsistent with the evidence we found. For example, the murder weapon. The murder weapon? You mean a switchblade knife that was with the broken tip? And that was Joe Jark's alright. But in the initial autopsy report, a question was raised. A question? The blade and knife was not a perfect match with the wound the victim sustained. What does it mean? It means there's a good chance the knife was not the murder weapon. Yeah. However, in a report that was finally submitted, that possibility has been erased. Could the facts have been concealed with forged evidence? The case left behind scars on all of us. Scars that the SL9 incident left behind. Well, I got the looks, but he got the brains. He was one of the best prosecutors around. And just made a detective when it went down. It was our first case together. How old was he? Your brother. He was 27 at the time. He was awarded the highest honor that very day. The highest honor? You mean the King of Prosecutors? Knew it. Why look at me for that? Why are you looking at me like that for? That's an honor for a prosecutor. Mr. Marshall must have been really close with his brother. The day the Elsa 9 incident took place. That wasn't the same day as... That's right. It was the day of the evidence transfer. Eh? Interesting. It was really that morning, but by nightfall there was thunder. Can't believe 2 years have gone by already. I tried to steal the evidence so the case wouldn't die. Apparently someone tried to stop you. Detective Goodman was murdered. The evidence locker was empty. Now there's something going on behind the scenes in that case. We all knew that later. Every detective involved in that case, in that investigation, save one, was taken care of. Miss Star was fired and I was demoted. Miss Star was fired and I was demoted a box away in a tiny room. What about Detective Goodman? Well, if they did something to him, the commissioners would have got suspicious. No, they were careful enough not to be too obvious. They? Who are you talking about? Don't get upset, Bambina. I mean Damon Gant and Lena Sky. The investigating lead, Damon Gant, and the second in command, Dana Sky. They were the person on the force who hadn't heard of that deal. And this was the biggest step in both of their careers. After the case ended, Lena transferred to the prosecutor's office, right? Yep. Damon Gant, the new chief of police, arranged for that to happen. She's never been the same since she left. Eh? Everywhere knew her said so. Chief Prosecutor Sky was totally different when she was a detective. I know you mentioned that Emma said something like that too. Tell me, what happened to my sister? I'm sorry, Bambina, but her secret is too well guarded. I never found out. Lena's secret? It all started 2 years ago. So, there you have it. And that's my story. Enjoy it, partner. It was certainly enlightening. Well, there's one thing for sure I found in court today. The boy Ashford visited my enemy. He was the one who used falsified evidence to get a guilty verdict. But someone else was the one who gave him the evidence and planned everything. And someone is Damon Gant. Don't believe me? No, I don't blame you. I won't even be patrolman after today. Too bad I won't be around to work with you when you become a real scientific investigator. Adios, Bambina. Well, all I can say is it's just a lot more than meets the eye. Max to the parking lot. No, no one's here today. Not even Miss Star. Aaron's probably busy looking into what exactly went down in the evidence room. That must be where the detectives are. We proved in court today that on the day of the crime, no one was murdered in the evidence room at 5:15. Yeah, now we're finally making some headway in our case. Instead, it looks like we ended up making Len look even more guilty. Hang in there, Lena. Gotta find all the answers by tomorrow. Back to the High Prosecutor's office, room 1202. Yeah, Mr. Edgeworth is in here. Maybe he's being questioned by an inquiry committee? Took a real beating in court today. Yeah, with Lena admitting to falsifying evidence years ago. Guess we'll just have to come back later. Alright, back to criminal affairs again. Place is always pretty empty, but today's deserted. It must mean everyone's busy solving crimes. Oh, if you're looking for the others, you're on the conference room. Thanks. Wow, he actually talked to us. Well, the chief prosecutor is saying what she did and decision about what to do, about what Mr. Edgeworth had to mention our statement to the media, Charles' trial. There's more chaos going on with Thanksgiving and Christmas put together. I think festive is the word usually used for those. Sir? We'd like to have a look around Chief Gant's office. Just use the connecting hallway to the other building and take the elevator to the top floor. Really? You mean it's okay for us to go in there? I mean, we aren't police officer or anything. Hey, you're right. You can't go in there. It's off limits. I see where Detective Gumshoe get his unique charm. What are we in for? Let's head to the chief's office. The design's a little changed from the one outside. Oh well, the Dancing Blue Badger TM is still under development, you see. You have it trademarked? Absolutely, it's cutting edge stuff. Very now. I showed this doll here to my daughter and she just burst into tears. Sure, the movie mock-up outside didn't. You would just give her nightmares. Alright. Well, new place. Go. Also, I wasn't expecting a... That is an organ, right? Like an actual, like, church organ or something. Anyway, chief's office. But maybe I should have expected it based on his theme. Oh. Where am I? In the chief's office, silly. At least, that's what it said on the door. Check out that pipe organ. It's real, isn't it? I used to take organ lessons in kindergarten. They used to call me Little Miss Batch. Little Miss Botch. I was a genius until they tried teaching me notes. Never could remember where C was. Oh, it's you two. Chief Gant. He put that paper he was reading in his desk. So, righto, have you been swimming lately? No, I haven't. Been kind of busy lately. I can appreciate that. I have my hands full. My hands full too with Miss Marshall's misconduct. Nina's provocative statement. Provocative statement? Oh, you mean the one about the forged evidence? 2 years have passed since that incident. My, how time flies. So that big picture on the wall over there? Oh, see that big picture on the wall over there? That's a picture of Lena, Neil, and me. So this is Mr. Marshall's brother, Prosecutor Neil Marshall. We took it to commit our work together. It's not right with this picture. I already see something that's very inconsistent. Can't quite seem to put my finger on it though. Picture the photo of the award ceremony of Kat, Lena, and Neil. Anyway, I'd like to read this all day, but there are matters that need my attention. Gonna lock up here, so let's go out together. Now, but this office, it was a crime scene 2 years ago, wasn't it? My case has long since been over. There's no need to investigate anymore. All the same, we'd still like to have a look around. Perhaps you didn't hear me. I said there's no need to investigate anymore. Yeah? Hurry up and get out. I have a meeting to attend. Technically are welcome. In that case isn't over with yet after all. What do you mean? Chief can't deny a request to search the crime scene. That means there must be a reason why he doesn't want us looking around in there. You mean like a clue? That'll be where we can get inside the chief's office. Well, back to criminal affairs again. Hey, pal. It's a gumshoe. Aren't you supposed to be in a meeting? I'm, taking a breather. My feet hurt. From sitting so long? Actually. From serving everyone coffee. I said the gumshoe's out of the loop. Say, have either of you seen Edworth? Edworth? No, why do you ask? He's under fire from both the police department and the prosecutor's office. It's almost like the battles between you two in court. Sounds serious. Is it because of what my sister said? It's basically what it all boils down to. Also by the evidence 2 years ago. Now Miss Asher has the whole world after his blood. Yikes. But why would Asher be blamed? It's like he knew the evidence was forged. Lena Sky is a guilty party here, isn't she? Regardless, the prosecutor is responsible for the evidence they present in court. Not only that, but as you know, there's been a lot of rumors going around about Mr. Edgeworth. His amazing talents, the prosecutor kept him safe from those who don't like him. But now, with this, are there really so many people who hate him? In our world, only those with talent rise to the top. Mr. Edgeworth not only has that, but he's young. Not a better recipe I know of for making enemies. Hey Dick, keep up the good work. Yes sir. Go out for lunch again sometime, my treat. Yes sir. Gotta take me back to that joint sometime, okay Dick? Yes sir. Maybe you don't have any problems with enemies. Yeah, well, I'm careful not to stick out. Anyway, I'm a bit worried about him. Under all this pressure, Mr. Edgeworth just might crack. No, actually, I took a look at the file earlier while the coffee was brewing. He seems generally concerned for Edgeworth. Well, did you find out anything? The only evidence Drake left behind was during his final attack. His final attack? You mean... when he killed Prosecutor Marshall was trying to protect some girl. Me. Gina said the gunshot never realized Emma was a girl. That's why he left behind the most incriminating evidence of all. Well, what was it? Oh, let's see. I think it has something to do with the murder weapon. I forgot. Look, it's all written somewhere in there, okay? Its powers of recollection never fail to impress. Maybe we should just show him the murder weapon. It might jog his memory. Oh. If you say so, Emma. Oh, I meant to present. About this. Hey, is that... There's a tag statue with the label SO9 listed on it. I believe this would be the broken murder weapon you were speaking of. What do you do with that? Ever since the case was closed, that knife's been locked away in the locker. Well, on the day it said the criminal was murdered, this suddenly disappeared from the locker. It was found in Mr. Edgeworth's car muffler. That's it. I remember what that creamy piece of evidence was. When he showed me that knife, it all came back to me. Well, what is it, detective? Quick before you forget again. Joe Jack was 42 at the time of the crime. He was just a run-of-the-mill businessman. The businessman? The man who took the serial killing. One day on his way home from work, he had someone with his car. With his car? So it was an accident? An accident, yes, but transformed him into an animal. An animal? He killed a man that witnessed the accident. Then he killed the second lady. The kid walked around to kill them too. That's when he broke buried bodies. A jogger came upon the scene and killed him and was killed as well. And he just turned himself in. Seems he was a pretty careless animal. Of course, this is all conjecture. There wasn't a single shred of evidence. So he turned himself in? Yes, but in the middle of the questioning, he fled and murdered his final victim. Prosecutor Marshall. That crime was witnessed by someone too, but luckily Dark was arrested on the spot. Good thing that last witness wasn't killed. Last witness. AKA Emma. This knife. It was Joe Dark's, wasn't it? That's right, pal. We trace it back to the store he bought it at. Plus it had his fingerprints on it too. But no one actually witnessed him using it to murder anyone, right? That's where his luck ran out. When you take a good look at the knife, you'll see it's broken. You don't have to take a good look to notice that. Yeah, well, anyway. Take a guess where the broken off tip of the knife was found. That's what did him in. Where was it? The victim, Marshall, was carrying it inside his own body. Yeah. That must be an extra words. That must be an extra painful way to die. Just have the knife embedded in your body in your last moments. Yeah. It was found deep inside the stab wound. Did it match Drake's knife? You bet. Down to the last fiber. It's pretty conclusive. Neil's autopsy report: stabbed in the back, died from punctured heart and lung. Knife tip was in the wound. Broken tip was found in the victim's body, belonged to murderer Joe Dark. Well, there you have it in a nutshell. That's all I know. Can I ask you one more thing? What is it? If it's money you need, you should ask Chief Gaunt. It's not money, but it does concern the chief. His office is a crime scene, right? It's where Prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered. Chief's out now and his office is locked. But we'd like to have a look around if that's okay. Well, any detective's ID card can unlock the door. Nani? Really? Well, but if I let a civilian in there, I'd be charged with breach of trust. Breach of trust? Simply put, I'd be canned. Oh. Sorry, pal. I don't plan on getting fired because of you. Well, I bought this ID card. It wasn't at the Goodmans. And that won't work either. It was related to the day he died. Oh. So in other words, Gumshoe's our only chance of getting into that office. Wonder if something we could show him that would make him change his mind. Maybe? No, probably not. I probably have to go talk to Edward, possibly. That's my only guess. Because, you know, Edward and Gumshoe are... Well, I guess care about each other, I guess. I wonder if Edward's back yet. There he is. Looks like he's writing something. What are you doing here? Huh? You're sure quick to throw that paper on the floor. It's updated in court, huh? I've had to live the past 2 years with rumors flying around. What's their allegation to me? You're up, Mr. Ashford. I'm ready for you. No, it's Ashford for you. We're trying to hide his real feelings. So, what do you want? And like some people, I don't have all day. So don't mind me. What was writing before? Come on, Mr. Wright. Let's take a look. Crazy, Edward's sitting right there. Just distract him. I'll check it out. Hey, Edward. Is that Gumshoe out the window there? Oh, he's fallen to the ground. Hold on. First time we see what that girl's doing crawling around my feet. And didn't even look. Nani? Letter, the average how we're reading it, I'll read it for you. It says letter resignation. Resignation? Resignation? Edgar, if you don't mean... I'm tired, right? I feel as if the thing inside me has died. But, Mr. Edriff, none of it's your fault. I know the path I walked. You don't need to tell me. And the path I walked hasn't been just a one. Hasn't been a just one. Can't forgive myself for what I've done. And no one else should forgive me either. Oh crap, I think he's serious. Mr. Wright, please, you have to do something. This letter of resignation. I'm not gonna use it for anything. I can think of who to give it to, but let's talk first. There's no excuse for what I've done. 2 years ago, I've used false evidence to obtain a guilty verdict. That's what it all breaks down to. Nothing I can do can erase that fact. But you didn't know, did you? I mean that the evidence was falsified? The police department and the prosecutor's office share a bond of trust. If that bond is broken, we stand to lose everything. The police department's error is my error. My responsibility as a prosecutor as the prosecutor in charge. The fact remains the same no matter what excuses I might have. Mr. Edgeworth. I take pride in my work. So tell me why. Why has it all come down to this? You never can keep this kind of emotion bottled up. So, are you up for the trial tomorrow? First last year's trial and now this one. Seems all you do is worry about me. To be honest, you're getting on my nerves. Mr. Ashworth, you can't just walk out on the trial. Tomorrow's the last day. Too late to change prosecutors. I'll bet that's what his superiors are banking on. Never thought that this case would come back to haunt me like this. What do you mean? The list of evidence seems too short. Most lists run twice as long. It's only half as long as most lists. It's odd. After Neil Marshall was murdered, I became prosecutor for that case. I may not have been part of the investigation, but I knew what I had to do. Use the evidence that was given to prove the suspect guilty. That was really the only thing on my mind at the time. Say, we just saw a picture taken around that time. Right, that picture. Something still seems strange about it. Can you tell us again about what happened that day? The day Detective Goodman was murdered. You're participating in the ceremony over at the station, right? I never cared for ceremonies, but I had to attend that one. Because you're awarded this. Those receiving awards can't exactly skip out on the ceremony. I finished up my office in the morning, then drove over to the police department. You finished up at the office? Yes, just odds and ends, clerical stuff. I didn't plan on returning to the office that day. That is, until I was asked to take something back. Take something back? This. Oh yeah, Chief Guy asked you to hold on to that, didn't he? Yes. There's a piece of evidence in a case that was closed half a year ago. He asked me to bring it back to the prosecutor's office. Right, that's the story we heard yesterday. So you came back here to the prosecutor's office because the chief asked you to? And that's right. But this isn't related to the case, remember? You said so yourself. So I did. The chief guy gave this to you on that day, didn't he? He asked you to bring it here from the police department? Chief is a very competent man. But sometimes he does things that don't make any sense. At least it's better than being incompetent and doing things that don't make sense. Oh, sorry, it's had the cause of mind. Right, so this picture was hanging on the wall in Chief Gant's office. Chief Neil Marshall. Oh, as Edward was saying. Chief Prosecutor Neil Marshall. He had just started making a name for himself. Looks like it was taken when he received the King of Prosecutors trophy. Speaking of that, it's something that bothers me. Yes? The trophy Mr. Marshall's holding. It's a little different than yours. Yes, you're right. Ah, I remember now. Remember what? That was what the official prosecutor's trophy looked like until 2 years ago. There's a story behind its design. The story? It sounds interesting. Would you mind telling it to us? It's simple, really. Contradiction. That's what the award's based on. see that where there's smoke, there's fire. Apparently I was so caught up in the smoke, I lost sight of the truth. Edgeworth. Yeah, those are right. I have no right to serve as a prosecutor. Mr. Edgeworth, you're only doing your job. I've always made my own decision about what I can or cannot do. That hasn't changed. Forgiving myself is something I cannot do. No. This award originates from an ancient Chinese tale. In Chinese, the word contradiction is written with two characters. The first means halberd, and the second means shield. Have you heard this story? Me? Sure. Everyone knows that. I told you tell it though, for Emma's sake. Very well. Long ago in the kingdom of Chu, there was an arms merchant. One day he presented the king with two items. The first was a halberd he claimed could slice through any shield or armor. The second was a shield he claimed could withstand any weapon. Wait a sec. Objection. These claims contradict each other. Very perceptive, but then again we heard the story before, right? Anyway, as he mentioned, the very description of these items described them both. When the king pointed this out, the merchant was left speechless. And thus the Chinese word for contradiction was born. Oh, I see. So the chipped shield and broken knife symbolize... Precisely so. They symbolize the merchant's items. The ancient tale ends with the merchant at a loss for words. But it's in our nature to pursue matters to their conclusion. Even if it results in something as ugly as this. Wow. Thanks to Edgeworth, I learned something new today. It's funny. If that's so, then why were you only given a shield? You have to ask Chief Gantz. 2 years ago, he had the halberd part of the award abolished. Chief Gantz? Actually, I'm curious though about this. Yeah, I was thinking that maybe there'd be like a Edgeworth would chime in. Anyway, back to the lot. Back to the underground parking lot. Excuse me. Will you be care for a quarter-pounder of roast beef? Sure. I guess she's out of lunches. Certainly out of curry sir, aren't you? Kinda like the first person who stuck the cow's nipple to deliver milk. Still, I never thought you'd go digging up a case from 2 years ago. The evidence trial was involved in the SL9 incident. Not only that, but the murder occurred the very day the case evidence from that case was due for transferal. This cannot be considered to mere coincidence. Aren't you forgetting something? You know, that little scene that happened to the witness? Instead, Lena stabbed Ted Goodman with a knife. No matter how much of the past you dig up, it won't change what I saw. Roast beef is meant to be savored when eaten. And my star's hatred toward Lena. It all dates back to two years ago. So dark. The name I'll not soon forget. We trailed him for half a year. Pressure. Still, I don't think I was ever more alive than I was then. Those days were steaming in a bowl of hot gravy. Bro, Jake Marshall though. He's been going through hell. You mean because of his brother's death? They were close, Socio. After Neil died, something took over Jake. He became obsessed. Seeing Jake like that made her all the more desperate. Her? Lena Sky. My sister? The best of the best are put on that SL9 case. Of course, they're led by that legendary duo. Lena and Chief Gant. The legendary pair was the reason we were able to keep up our investigation. That's why we were all shocked over how it turned out. Even with the forging of the evidence. Don't get me wrong, Jozar got what he deserved. Still, it was obvious that evidence produced in court was being manipulated. Items our team never found would suddenly appear, while other items were kept secret. But you don't have proof anything illegal was done. I'm proof enough of what happened. Yeah. After that case, all of us save Goodman were relieved for our duties. Most without even so much as an explanation. And Lena Sky transferred to prosecutor's office and became chief prosecutor. Lena always wanted to be a prosecutor. Nothing's quite as simple as it appears. Naughty? Lena Sky was merely being used as a pawn. That's my take on the matter. She was being used? Damn it, Gant and Lena Sky. Gant led the investigation, with Lena second in command. They were the best. They solved that kind of cases together, didn't they? Damn it, Gant's magnetism in particular was almost unreal. His magnetism? By that I mean his ability to track evidence. He produced the most incredible evidence in the cases he handled. Incredible evidence? You mean... Oh yes, there were rumors about him even back then. No one dared confront him now. I think she's talking about forged evidence. Back then, everyone looked up to Lena. All the detectives wanted to be like her. Really? Oh yes, self-included. I was a fool, really. She hated everything. She hated anything crooked. Always watch out for the other evidence. Detectives. That's why she was so concerned for Jake. Marshall. When Jake's brother was murdered, she felt as if she had lost her own brother. If it wasn't for her, I don't think Jake would have ever recovered from his shock. That's what makes it all the more infuriating. Sure. That's why I'll never be able to forgive her. Why did she have to turn so cold after that? So Lena transferred to the prosecutor's office 2 years ago, didn't she? Yes, thanks to Chief Gant's powerful influence. Chief? That's right. Had we solved the SL9 case, his position as chief was secured. There was only one thing left for him to control, and then no one could stand in his way. The prosecutor's office. Nani? You mean that's why Lena was transferred? If he can control the chief prosecutor, he can control the prosecutor's office. That must have been his goal all along. But how can he control Lena? I don't know, but one thing's for sure. Ever since that case ended, she's never been the same. It's only logical to conclude there must have been a reason for her to change. That's... I'm finally getting closer to the bottom of this ugly mess. Thank you, Miss Star. You listen to me, rookie. It takes more than just ingredients to create fine cuisine. I hope you turn out to be a better chef than I've been. I don't suppose. I probably don't have anything to give her in particular. I do want to check my evidence though about this picture. I'll keep my thoughts to myself, but something seems odd. I'll leave it at that, because everything always looks suspicious. What about... Oh, I have to present it to her, right? Alright, well we did have to come regardless because we had to go to talk with Gumshoe, right? And so I feel like what we have to do next. Oh, you're back. You're still here. I've got to make 150 copies of these files. Brewing coffee, copying files. Talking to a regular DJ. You're a DJ as well? If I'm not mistaken, I think he means a desk jockey. Oh, that DJ. And I might have persistency, but my answer is still no. Eh? And I like you to the chief's office, period. You'd be my neck on the line. There's gotta be something we can do to make the detective change his mind. Gee, I wonder what it could possibly be. Sorry again, I know I shouldn't be saying sarcastic stuff that often, but here, take that. I mean, take that. What's this crumpled up piece of paper? No way. Mr. Edgeworth can't be serious. Is he ever not serious? I can't believe they're pushing him this far. Mr. Edgeworth really feels responsible. When I first met him, I thought he was as cold as ice too. But I know different now. Trusted us detectives with Brian with sound evidence. But we were just... we betrayed him. Detective. That's it. I made up my mind. But... here. Take my ID card. You can't do that. Someone found out. They won't let you off the hook with another lost item report. Look at me. It's no secret I'm already out of the loop. I'm around friends with Mr. Ashworth. Depending on how this case turns out, may already be as good as terminated. Daddy? So, at least allow me to do this, for Mr. Edgeworth's sake. Right, detective. Thank you. February 24th, Police Department, Chief's Office. Now, here goes, Mr. Wright. We're in. If anyone finds us now, the Gumshoe's a goner. If that happens, I'm counting on you to bail me out. Yeah. Sorry, I thought you were a ghost. Didn't even know you could stop a ghost. Detective Gumshoe? What are you doing sneaking up on us like that? What's sneaking? Just worried something might go wrong. So I came too. You're here, and what's the point of giving us your ID card? Hey, don't do that on my card. I hardly ever get a chance to come in here. So I figured I'd have a look around myself. Besides, we're all in this together now. You really do want to get fired, don't you? Not if we're lucky. Come on, let's see what's up. Let's see what we can find. Got a bad feeling about this. Just safe, isn't it? Safe? That word is ripe with intrigue. Right, if you say so. Looks like a code needs to be answering this panel to open it. Seven-digit number. Let's... I have a feeling, but let's not touch that just yet. How about we try and do my birthday? I have an idea, I don't want to touch that. The real deal, isn't it? This armor and these weapons. Sure is, pal. Chiefs don't care for imitations. First the pipe organ, now the armor. You know how many taxpayer dollars must have gone into this room? Natty, you mean we're paying for this? That's it, I'm not paying 1 cent of my taxes. Don't have any taxes to pay. Shh, careful of what you say. Who knows? Chief may be hiding in his armor as you speak. I don't think he'd fit in there. And if he did, he'd never be able to get back out. I don't know, you guys don't know how scary this guy can be. Wow, look at the side of the Chief Gun's desk. Speaking of that, when we were here earlier. Right. He put that paper he was reading in his desk. Wonder what he's reading. This looks like a list of evidence. List of evidence? In most cases, the list runs twice as long as this, though. Hey, look at the case name. Yeah. It's still 9, isn't it? Wonder what this is doing here. Hold on, detective. What did you just say? I said, I wonder what... No, about evidence lists. Normally they're twice as long. And that's right. I guess there wasn't a lot of evidence. Half-sized list of evidence. I'm just having a sense of Janice Boo here. What would the other half of the list be doing here? Knew it. The chief must be hiding something about that case. It appears so. Yeah, she's organ sure is a sight to behold. Occasionally we hear a plaintiff from the criminal affairs department. On the second floor, and this is on the 15th floor of an entire exhibit building. When the detective screws up, the chief calls into his office. It makes him listen to the organ for hours. So bad about that. Music soothes the soul. After that, the detective can't hear anything for days except for the ringing in the ears. So it's an instrument of punishment, literally. Weren't the chief's ears affected? He never listens to anyone anyway. It's besides the point. Look at that giant window. Makes you want to crash through it and jump outside. This is the 15th floor. I know, I was just saying. I mean, what? Ever since being a detective, I always dreamed about doing something like that. Note to self, Detective Gumshoe has a lot of dreams. As long as he doesn't go crashing through the window when he gets fired. Don't say that. Shelves are mostly empty. Lena must have really cleaned them out when she transferred to the prosecutor's office. A small picture on the left shelf. Hey, is this when Lena and I went to that theme park? This was Lena's desk. Sure is tidy. Lena's always been a meticulous cleaner. Is there any dust in it? Like someone's still keeping it clean. Does Lena ever come back here? No. Chica must have still kept it clean in memory of their partnership. They were the stuff legends are made of. So does he keep it in memory of her or in memory of the crime? Right, this was taken on a day 2 years ago. The Jade drew dark ran a questioning Grim and tried to kill Emma. After receiving his award trophy, Mr. Marshall took a picture here. Then went along with She Gat to question Dark. I bet he never knew he'd be dead just a few hours later. Gee, you'd think. Right, gee. I'm actually gonna stop the sarcasm for now. I have an idea what this number is. I have a hunch. You do want to try my birthday. It's... No, here goes nothing. Again, why am I not surprised? Bingo. What number did you enter? Whose birthday was that, pal? All sevens. The final ID card number on that record. Nani? The number of the mysterious executive officer who entered the room that day. You mean... that ID number? I think you're 1 7 shy of this time. This can only mean one thing. That's Chief Gun's ID number. Hey, anyone care to look inside? Is there any money in there? How much money does it have stashed away? Look, it's, a shard from a broken cup? Someone looks familiar. I've seen this before. There's something else in here too. Looks like a piece of leather cloth. This is a handprint, isn't it? I saw someone wearing a shirt like that once. You think the chief made up the design? I don't think so. Oh, well, it was just a thought. Is that it? That's all that was in that safe? Apparently so. Empty now. Here's a cloth with a handprint on it. And a broken shard from a cup. It looked like pieces of evidence. Yeah, but unless you could prove they have something to do with this case. I'm afraid I can't just let you take them. Cross my neck on the line here. You're gonna have to prove their relevancy to get them. There's gotta be something we can show. Right. Unfortunately, we are at time. It is exactly 1:30. So we'll see how the rest of this, how this evidence comes to play, as well as maybe the conclusion, since they're saying the whole 3 days to investigate matters, so we'll have to leave this for next time.